Hi everyone! Today is a very special Monstober Werewolves episode. This movie kind of terrified me as a child and was actually the very first werewolf movie I ever saw. So get ready because we are about to unpack the weird baggage that is Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet is a 1985 werewolf movie based on a short novel by Stephen King. And like most Stephen King movies, it loses something in the shift from book to movie. But that doesn't matter too much when you're a 5 or 6-year-old child. This movie puts kids in peril. The danger to them was real, and one of the kids was in a wheelchair, seemingly defenseless. It was not a great thing for a kid to watch. While I didn't remember much of the movie, I did remember the menace of the Reverend and the iconic scene of the kid fighting off the werewolf with fireworks. It was harrowing. Now, unlike other scary movies from my youth, I finished this one, and I think that's key to understanding fears and phobias. It scared me, but I also saw it die, killed by a child no less. That and I had a crush on Michael J. Fox and later Jason Bateman, so Teen Wolf helped rein werewolves back into the realm of safe horror rather than becoming a fear or a phobia. Even the very short-lived Teen Wolf animated series, plays into that a little bit. I still remember the other invented werewolves, like his little sister Lupe. All of that stuff plays into phobias becoming not really phobias, but more obsessions. It did become something of an obsession. Vampires live in that same place, but I have less of an idea how they got there. Probably Bunnicula, though the animated movie still scared me, and I remember being anxious reading the book. I have some vague memory of watching vampires kiss while pressing my hands to my neck, protecting them as I stared at the screen. Can you imagine being scared of vampires kiss? Nicolas Cage at peak Nicolas Cage-ness, hamming it up with plastic vampire teeth, chasing pigeons, screaming, "Over!" This is the kid you're dealing with. This is the child that watched Silver Bullet. This is not gonna end well. I was so afraid of the Blob. That was my thing. Anyway, I had this fascination with Silver Bullet, even going so far as to borrow a cycle of the werewolf from the library, and oh my, that did not help. I remember the pigs, the illustrations in the book showing a more horrifying werewolf than the one in the movie, and cementing that Krynos-style werewolf as the werewolf for me, something that has never gone away and has only really strengthened as I get older. But the movie, it still sat as this strange thing. By showing me that werewolves could be killed, it made them less scary. By showing me that adults preach morals while blatantly ignoring them, it contributed to my eventual mistrust of religion. And by showing the werewolf as a reverend, it drove home that point, instilling a mistrust of religious authorities. I really also gotta say that I don't think Stephen King likes religion very much. Anyway. As much as this movie is a part of my werewolf obsession, it's a bad movie. Now, before you get mad and throw down some comments, rewatch it. I thought it was great. I think I even rewatched it about 10 years ago and I thought it was fine then. It's not. It's slow, it's fairly boring, a bit muddled in places. It doesn't always make sense, and some aspects of it are just plain silly. In the book, it's clear that the Reverend does not know he's a werewolf until the night after he loses his eye. The lost eye is his wake-up call. In the movie, however, it's pretty vague about it until he tries to hit the kid with a car. After that, it becomes a strange game where he reveals that he was killing people based on their sins. Like, did you kill a kid for flying a kite? Really? Shooting off fireworks on the 4th of July? That's another one. Trying to find a murderous animal in the woods? Dude, stop pretending like you have a reason to murder people and just admit you like killing people. The costume for this one is fairly laughable. I remember it being better. It actually made my top 10 list of best werewolf designs until I started looking for it again, and then I was like, huh. And, rewatching the movie actually just cemented that. Originally, I had put this one on the list to do, but then when I looked it up, I couldn't find any good full body pictures of the werewolf, so I put this one on the back burner. Then I kept thinking about it, and I'm like, this is the first werewolf movie I ever saw. It really needs to be on this list. And so I found a cheap copy and I rewatched it. And the reason that there are no good werewolf shots of the werewolf in this movie is because there are no good scenes with the werewolf in this movie. Every scene of him is either from like the knees down or the chest up, or like just his forearms. You never see the full werewolf, and there's probably a reason for that. It's because he looks kind of like a gorilla costume with an okay wolf head. It has giant Bigfoot-like feet with hair and claws on them, and we never see him. They go to great pains to hide this costume, and sometimes they're hidden in really strange ways, like the scene when the werewolf bursts through a greenhouse floor to kill somebody. He never comes all the way out. And the scene on the bridge when he loses his eye, the camera's so tight on him that you only see him from like his biceps up. The level of sentience in this werewolf is pretty high. Not just the animal, like, that kid shot me in the eye, so I'm gonna go friggin' kill him. Levels of normal werewolf sentience, but like, turning off the power to the house he's going to hit, and like, I full on think he straight up turned it off, not just ripped the power lines off the house like some accidental wild animal getting lucky. And this werewolf literally hits people with a baseball bat in what can only be described as this baffling kaiju-esque moment. And this is not the last time we will see that bat. The Peacemaker. It even has a name. And he keeps it in his freaking garage. So not only did he beat some hunters with a baseball bat, but Werewolf him thought, this is pretty handy. I think I'll take it home with me. I really felt like I needed to include Silver Bullet in this list because I thought the werewolf was good. I thought the movie was good. Time has a way of changing things. Your mind remembers things that weren't there, or remembers them differently than how they actually happened. It hasn't aged very well, not even as a curiosity. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't paired it with Bad Moon on my rewatch. I thought they would pair well because they both centered on children, but watching what was obviously a weird, fun, fast-paced werewolf movie, then watching a slower, more serious but unintentionally silly movie just punctuated how very dull it was. A moment of silence then for Silver Bullet, my first werewolf movie. You live better in my memory, and it's possibly where I should have left you.